So welcome to your replay analysis. Now, if I have this correct, then you are See Me Play and your friend is DJ Wood 3. So I mainly spectate you, but obviously I will talk about your teammate as well. Okay, so you go for kickoff, and it's a good kickoff. You do the diagonal flip and then the flip again. Now here you don't want to rotate in front of your teammate, you want to rotate behind. So after you've gone for the kickoff here, you then want to rotate this line here. If your teammate wins the ball, then obviously you can go for one of the big boosts. But after kickoff, because the play has gone over here, you don't want to rotate into the play here. You never want to rotate into the play. You always want to rotate behind the play. So behind the play would be like around here somewhere. You know, you can pick up these pads here, that's fine. And you can just get ready to see the outcome of this ball here. Like I say, if your teammate does win it, then you can always go for the big boost after. But by you going into the play here, you just take the risk of like getting in your teammate's way and getting in the way of the overall play. But your teammate does well. Okay, now you go for a cheat. Now the same thing happened again, but this time with your teammate. Your teammate goes for kickoff and then he's rotating into the play. Do you see like how you're in each other's way and you're both in the same place? You never want that to be the case. You always want to be spaced out. You have to get in a habit of picking up small pads and not like having a desperate need to get like the big boost pads. Now a good way to practice this, you can go into unranked and you can just, you know, concentrate on not going for big boosts and just picking up small pads, and then you'll get in the habit of like taking these paths across the small pads. There's obviously not an opportunity here for him to go for a big boost pad. Like if he goes over to this boost pad, he's going to put himself so far out the play, it's not going to be beneficial to him. So really, you just want to concentrate on picking up small pads, because having position is far more important than having boost, like lots of boost. Like you can suffice off like 30, 40 boost. You don't need to get a big boost pad all the time. So yeah, we see you both make the same mistake on both kickoffs. Now, there's not really much point in going for this, and I'll tell you why. So here you jump up and hit this, but the problem is, with you hitting this, is you're passing it to the middle. But who are you passing to? Because look where your teammate is. Your teammate has no boost, so he's not going to be able to cut round and get to the actual pass. So there's actually no point in passing this, because you're effectively just passing to the other team. So the question is then, what can you do instead? One thing you have to remember, especially in 2v2, you need to stop the other team getting the ball and you need to take control of the ball yourself. So you can just fake a jump here. You can pretend you're going to go for the ball and don't go for it. Your teammate is harassing the guy on the other team. So he's making it awkward for him. So therefore you have more time. And a worst case scenario here is, just say you fake jump and that Crofton actually hits the ball towards your like end of the field. It doesn't matter, because you're closer to the ball then and you can get to it first and you can control it. So you don't want to be going for a ball when there's just no options, you know, because now you've hit it and now you've passed it to the other team. And look what's going to happen. This Daniel's going to go up and your teammate's gone for it as well. So you're both in this corner, both going for the ball. Daniel's going to hit the ball. He's going to clear it into your half of the field and nobody's going to be there apart from his teammate, that Daniel's teammate. And he's going to have a free shot on your goal. And that's all because you hit this ball. Now your teammate does make a mistake here, because he's making exactly the same mistake as you made, is he's going for the ball when there's no need to go for the ball. All that happens there is you get fortunate, because that Daniel doesn't hit the ball. Once you actually rank up and then the other team can actually hit those balls, they're just going to boom that all the way to your half, possibly get a shot or possibly pass to their teammate and score. You have to be wary of committing for balls that, you know, there's no point in actually going for. Okay, that's a good challenge. Now there is fine to go for the pass because you know your teammate's there. Now this is what I was talking about before. You want to get used to picking up small pads, because already I can see the first thought in your head isn't to pick up small pads because you've missed about 3 already. So by the time you're here, you've still got no boost. You should have at least 30 boost now just by picking up small pads. And you don't want to be doing this flip, like, you know, you keep flipping here. You don't want to do that. All you want to do is you want to learn how to wave dash, like just a simple front wave dash, and then that will help you get momentum back to your goal. So you can just wave dash like once or twice, go through the small pads, and then you'll get back to goal quickly, and you'll also have like 40 boost by the time you get back to goal. But instead, you know, you're left in an awkward position. You don't rotate back post either. When you're going back to goal like this, you always want to rotate to the back post, and then you want to cut across your goal. So going back to when you had no boost here, you just want to wave dash, then you want to go through these little pads here, and then you want to take this line to your back post, and then you want to drive like across here. You obviously don't want to drive to your front post, but I'm saying you want to take this route here, because then wherever Daniel places this ball, you give yourself the best chance of like getting to it. Now, because you'll be coming from your back post here, look how much easier it will be for you to actually hit this ball off once it comes off the wall. But because you're here, you see where you are here, look how awkward it is. You've made it so awkward, like to turn and try and actually hit this ball. You've just made it really awkward for yourself. So the only thing you have to remember is when going back to goal like this, always rotate to the back post. And that's why, because you help keep your momentum and you help keep your car in a good position to actually reach the ball. But fortunately he misses. And yeah, your teammate, I'm guessing he did the same thing as you. You're facing towards your goal, and the reason you're facing towards your goal is because you're trying to do this awkward turn. Like a lot of players do this at this rank. They drive down the middle of the goal and then they try and turn like this. But like I say, if you're coming in from back post, you can just easily swoop round. So we look at your teammate's rotation back. Yeah, see, he's going down the middle. Like, there's no need to go down the middle here. It's like, I know you might want to pick up these two pads, but look, you can pick up these two pads, you know, or you probably just need one pad. I see that he had about 40 boost back here. So, you know, if you can save that 40 boost with like a wave dash or something like that, then you can pick up this pad here and then you put yourself in a good position. So that's one thing that both of you need to get in a habit of doing, is rotating back post and coming across your goal, as opposed to driving down the middle of your goal. Yeah, see, that's fine. Now, the difference between this kickoff and the last kickoff is that you're actually getting value in what you do here. So after you get the kickoff here, you're not actually getting in your teammate's way, because obviously the ball's going high, so your teammate's got to go high if he's going to actually hit the ball. And the reason you get value here is because you steal the boost from the other team. So now that Crofton's got no boost, and it gives your teammate a lot more options because he has no boost, and it puts them under less pressure. And you do well here to rotate round. Now, your teammate is kind of in the middle of no man's land. You always want to be from this side of the ball. And he's just cheated up too much. And now, look, you're going back, because it's very difficult for you to defend this ball if you're driving at it towards your goal, because the only way you can potentially hit this ball is towards your own goal. So you always want to try and be this side of the play. So once he sees that you win that boost off of Crofton, his only job then is to get this boost here. And then once you've got that boost, you can then be in a position to defend, because you know Crofton can't really do much. Like, he can only really go for a straight shot because he's not really going to have any boost. And then once you're set up ready for what will, you know, it's going to be a weak shot, then you can just make a play from there. And then, you know, I know he gets the boost, but it's his positioning before he gets the boost. So if you see he's not looking at the play, he doesn't know what's going on, he gets the boost, but then, like, look at the position of his car. He's facing his own goal. And like I say, you always want to be facing, you know, outwards, like towards the other side of the field. Because when this shot is actually going on target now, it's in. If he gets it on target, it's a goal. And there's nothing you can do about it. And that's purely because of your position. But fortunately, he can't shoot, and you get away with it, to be honest. Now, there you want to steal that boost. This is what I was saying. Like, you have to win the boost wars. After this shot here, now you have to think there's no way that that ball's going to be scored. Like, that Daniel's not going to be able to zip round like the ball and then get another shot. So you have to think, take that boost, because then you're going to have a free ball, and you're also going to have boost advantage over your opponent. But because you let him get that boost, you've now made your life awkward. Because there you go. You're pushing up too far here. Once you get to a higher rank, that Crofton will be able to boom this ball off the backboard himself. But because the way this ball is falling, he can just boom this all the way to your goal. And because you're pushing up too far, there's going to be no way that you can actually get to this ball and actually save it. So here now, you want to be seeing Crofton. Crofton's going to hit the ball. You see that now. Once he hits this ball here, this is where you turn. If I was you, I would turn right here and I'd circle back round to my goal and I'd be here, you know, just ready to defend, because I would expect a boomer. If it turns out that Daniel doesn't boom the ball and he just controls it, then DJ can cut and he can try and cut off the attack, you know, with you waiting back. But because you push up too far here, you know, again, they should have scored. Yeah, it's just lots of panicking. This initially comes because you pushed up too far. So you invited the pressure. And now you don't know how to deal with the pressure. You really have to learn that you don't need to panic, because you have to remember the other team, they're not going to start pulling out some really, you know, impressive plays. Like, it's just not going to happen. So the best the other team are going to do is they're just going to hit it at your goal. So here, just don't jump yet. You know, just wait. Like, because you see the ball hit, and then you've only got 19 boost. So there's not really much you can do. Now, what you can do is you can fake jump. So you can just do like a little jump, but not actually aerial, not use any of your boost, because the fake jump will make Crofton think that you're going for the ball and it'll make him rush the hit. In an ideal situation, which is what you've kind of got here, is that you will fake jump or you will just do anything to get Crofton to hit the ball. And then as he hits it at your goal, your teammate's here ready to collect the ball. Now, I actually don't know why DJ's going to the backboard here. I can maybe understand if he thinks Crofton's going to go for an air dribble. But the trouble is, in this scenario, you're in front of him. So therefore, he has you to what I call bait the ball. And it means make the opponent make a play. Like, they have to do something because you're going to try and go for the ball. And because he has that option, there's no need for you to expect, you know, the other team to go for an air dribble. Plus, you can defend an air dribble from your goal. Obviously, it's easier to defend it from the backboard. But I just think because Crofton hasn't really got the option to go for an air dribble here, like I say, because you're in front of him, I don't think there's any reason to go to the backboard. You know, you just want to go down to the ground here and you just want to wait and see what happens. If DJ's just waiting here now, he sees you try to make this interception and he's just waiting. If Crofton does somehow manage to air dribble it over you, and then he can always just jump and try and defend it that way. But the only thing you'd have to be aware of is obviously the demo. But he decides to go backboard and, you know, makes his life awkward. But like I say, that's mainly just due to panic. You just have to be more controlled. I don't really like the drive kickoff. You know, I'd always suggest flipping, but I'm not sure if he, like, maybe thought that the other team wasn't going for the ball or something. No, you don't want to push up here. Like, the one thing to bear in mind here is that your presence alone, just being here, is enough. Like, you're doing enough already. There's no need for you to go for this ball. You don't have to dive for it. You don't have to drive at it. You just have to be here, because he's going to see you're here and he's going to panic. So he's going to hit the ball like he does because you're there. And because you haven't commit, you know, you're still just sitting here on the ground. By doing that, by just being there, you're going to get possession off the other team. But because you've jumped, you've just put yourself out the play, and now your teammate's in a 2v1. And if your teammate is ever in a 2v1, it's your fault. Like, it's always the first man's fault if the last man is back left in a 2v1. See, that was better. I don't know if you meant it, like, but you just did a fake jump and you made him do something. This is what I was talking about before when they scored the last goal. This is what Simi played. This is what you should have done. Just a fake jump. And then it just makes him do something, and then the other player can, you know, your teammate can come in and he can clear up, like what happens here. Yeah, I don't mind you going for that because you know your teammate was rotating back. And it was a scoring opportunity. Don't dive, you're last man. I guess a rule of thumb to follow is never commit when you're the last man, because you're the last line of defense. If you commit for the ball and you don't win it, like even if you take a 50-50 here, you can still lose the 50-50. So therefore, you're the last man. They beat you in a 50-50 and they score. I mean, in this case, they don't even have to beat you in a 50-50. But you just don't want to commit if you're the last man. Just don't go. Like, just wait, Nope, don't dive. Just, you shouldn't be this far forward anyway. I'd say ideally you want to kind of be about here, because he could flick this ball. Like if he front flips now and flicks that ball, that's going to go up in the air and it's going to go towards your goal. So you want to be in a position to save that if that happens. So you kind of want to be around here, because look, if he flicks that now, you can always like drive back to your goal and you can get a save. And then you just shadow defend. So what that means is, it means as he drives forward with the ball, so as he's carrying the ball forward like this, you're defending here and you're just kind of driving with him, almost like in line with him. And you're just like, almost like you're his shadow. So every time he moves forward, you move back. And then you can put in like little fake challenges, like you're gonna go, almost scaring him. Like, I'm gonna go for the ball, I'm gonna go for the ball. And then he will ultimately make a play, like he hit the ball somehow, because he'll panic. He'll think you're gonna come and hit the ball. So therefore he'll try and flick it, or, he'll hit it over here. He'll just do something that will end up giving the ball away. And that's just by shadowing and not actually doing anything. Like, you'll find that actually not doing anything will work a lot better a lot of the time, because they will end up giving you the ball. But every time you dive in like this, you don't give yourself any options, and you just make it easy for the other team. Like, look how easy you've made it for him now. He's just like, oh, thanks, you've given me an open goal. Fortunately, Simi Play actually gets back and does well. Yeah, that was that panic again. You both just panicked there. That was good play. That was good play. You're just unlucky on the flick. Now, don't go. Don't go. There's no need to go there, because it's the same thing before. Like, if you hit the ball and he takes a 50, you're putting yourself out the play. Like, you have to recognize when you're going to put yourself out the play. So again, you just want to fake this. You can drive up the wall. This is fine. Now you just make it, just being here, that's enough. What you're doing now is that you don't have to do anymore, because by you being here, he sees you there and he thinks, I have to do something because I have to hit it past this guy, which he's going to try and do. So you could have just drove back down the wall and then rotated behind your teammate, and then your teammate could have went in, and you just keep repeating that pattern until they give you the ball. But because you've dived in, you've now put your teammate in a 2v1. And then they score. You have to recognize how valuable the fake challenge is. By just being there is enough. Trust me, the more you do it in your games, the more you will see how powerful it is. And you'll just be amazed. You'll be like, wow, I was just sitting there doing nothing and I made him give me the ball. Obviously, the higher you go up in rank, it's not going to be as easy. But, I'm talking about the rank that you're at now. Okay, I don't mind that. I kind of think that you was trying to pass to your teammate there, which was the correct option. It's just you hit it a bit too middle. Now, what you're doing here is you're shadow defending. This is good, but you missed the most important part of shadow defending, and that is when to actually go for the ball. Because obviously you can't shadow defend the ball until it's in your goal. Like, you have to make a move at some point. Either you or the attacker has to make some sort of move. Otherwise, he can just dribble this ball into your goal. So here, what you have to recognize is you have to recognize the moment you can go. And it's when he loses control. Now, if you see, there was one time there. There's one time there. So you have to become aware of when those moments are. And he's trying to bounce dribble here. He actually does really well, this Daniel on the other team. But he loses control of the ball. Not there, here. Right, because it's on the left side of his car and your goal is to the right side, he can't score this. How is he going to score this ball with it here? Like, look at the position of the ball to him. How's he going to score? So this is your time to move in, because the worst case scenario is you drive towards him now and try and get the ball. He's going to hit it over here. The ball's going to go over here. It's not going to go towards your goal. But because you don't close the space, you give him the opportunity then to switch the ball to the other side of his car. And when he's this side of the ball, that's when it's dangerous, because he can score, because look, he can hit the ball directly towards your goal. So that's when you know when you can challenge. But yeah, because you don't close the space, look, you let him get back round the ball, and then again, he should have scored this. Your car is in a really awkward position. Like, you should have the front of your car facing him, and he should just look, he should just be able to hit this straight into the goal here. But if you could wake up tomorrow, win 100 games and become SSL, like, you'd think you'd be happy. But the trouble is you're not ready to rank up yet. because of things like this. You have to learn how to deal with situations like this before you rank up, because what's the point of ranking up and playing really good players that can punish you on situations like this? You know, you want to learn how to deal with them first, so when you come across those players that can punish you, you're able to deal with it. Your teammate does well to cover. But like I say, you know, I don't want to be too negative about that play, because the shadowing, that was good. I like that. You didn't just dive in. That was the correct play. It's just knowing when to go is all I'm saying. Okay, you got time here. Yeah, okay. I mean, it's not the greatest touch, but it's the right idea. I like the way you're trying to control it. Now, this is your team. Yeah, you should know this is your teammate's ball because he's behind you. So by you diving for it, you know, the best case scenario you're going to have here is that you're going to fake your teammate out. You have to have more communication. So whoever is last man, if the ball is going beyond you, then it's last man's ball. You have to let them have it. And by, like I say, by you diving for it, you're just going to end up faking him. Okay, your teammate has to just bide time here while you get back. Now fake it. Yep, that was good. No need to hit that, you know, but... Okay, yeah, that... And if you look where the other team are, they're actually waiting for you to hit this. Like, this is what I would do if I was on the other team. I would just sit back and I'd wait for you to hit this ball to me, and then I would just, you know, try and score. Ideally, you just want to let the ball fall, and you want to get goal side of the ball behind it. And then if that Crofton was to quickly rush in, you just want to take a 50-50, making sure you're goal side of the ball so it can't squeeze past you. And then you just want to make a play from there. But yeah, the misplay here was your pass. And then after that, you just wouldn't, you know, like I was talking about rotating back post earlier, you just want to rotate like across like this. You know, you're kind of cutting in like this, and then what happens is, because your car's facing forwards like this, you make it awkward, because it's very hard for you. Say someone hits a shot up in this top corner and you're facing like this, you can't really turn your car, jump and then save like that. The ball goes above you, you're okay, but you limit your options on where you can actually like get a save. And by you driving like straight like this to your back post, you just have more options. From how you was playing in the first half of the replay to how you're playing now, it seems like you've kind of lost the will. Now, obviously that can happen in games, and like, you know, if it does, you normally just want to forfeit and you normally want to move on to the next one. But one thing I will say is that mentality in Rocket League is so important, like so important, because what happened is you'll have this game, and you know, you're going to get games. You're not going to win every single game. It's just not going to happen. You're going to get games where you just end up losing by high scores, like you go 4-0 down or something like that. And if you haven't got a good mentality, you'll take that into your next game. So you'll kind of be tilted from the game before, and then your next game will be worse because, you know, you'll be tilted from the last game. So you just have to kind of take it on the chin a little bit. And you have to remember that when you lose, that's when you learn the most about your game. You don't learn too much from winning. You learn the most from losing. Like, it's the same with pro teams, like in RLCS. The replays they watch the most are when they lose, because they know what they need to do to adapt, you know, and change to actually get better. I like these little control hits that you do. I've noticed you've done this a few times, like you're actually trying to control the ball, and that's a good sign. And the more you do that, the more you'll get used to it, and the better you'll get at it. Obviously, you can set up training packs. So for example, you could set up a training pack where this happens. Set up a training shot where the ball just bounces off the wall like this to here, and then you can just practice it in training. You know, a ball like this, you can practice all different things of what you can do. So I'd say that was a really good training pack you could probably create for yourself. I mean, there's just your shooting. You just have to try and hit that high. And how you do that, obviously, is you hit it with the corner of your car, you know, kind of bottom side of the ball, so the ball goes up. Obviously not too high, because you don't want to miss the goal. And your teammate's doing well here. Yeah, that's a good shot. That's what you wanted before. I'm not sure what's happened with the kickoffs, but your kickoffs kind of gone downhill as the game's gone on. You know, like I say, that could be a mentality thing. But yeah, you just want to stick with that kickoff that you had at the start, you know, where you flipped and then flipped again. But I think I went over a lot there, you know, that you can take away. I'd say your biggest issues, which is kind of expected at this rank, is your rotations and positioning. So, you know, there was a lot of times that I spoke about your positioning was bad and explain why. I know it's easy to say, but you need to get used to not panicking. Like I say, maybe go into unranked and just try a few of these things. Just play without the pressure of needing to win. You know, just think like, I need to pick up more small boost pads. I need to not be so desperate to get the big boost pads. You know, I need to favor positioning over boost. I need to think about, am I in the right position? Can I go for boost? If I go for boost, will I put myself out of position? And like I say, if you're doing that in unranked, it doesn't matter if the other team score on you. If you're just trying to practice defense and they score, it's unranked, who cares? Like, you know, you're just there to learn. Maybe you've got 2 friends that you can play against, you know, just casually, just to have fun and just try and learn. But other than that, you know, I think there was a lot of good things as well. Like, I like the way that you was taking light touches, you was trying to control the ball. You know, a lot of the times when you was defending, you was actually behind each other, so you did have a double layer of defense a lot of the time. You know, there's only a few times when you didn't. So there's a lot of pros as well. But of course, the only way you improve is if you work on the bad sides of your game. But I really hope that analysis helped. And yeah, let me know.